The Cursed Portrait, A Tale of Endless Night. It began on a cold, rain-swept evening. The storm outside battered the windows of the old manor house, which stood isolated atop a hill surrounded by gnarled, dead trees. The place had been abandoned for decades, yet tonight, its doors creaked open as if welcoming the unwary. Jake, Emily, Mark, and Lisa were urban explorers, thrill-seekers chasing the eerie and the forbidden. The manor, known as Blackwood Estate, had a reputation. Whispers in the local taverns spoke of dark rituals, missing people, and a cursed portrait that drove its viewers mad. The legend was enticing enough to lure the friends past the crumbling gate and through the grand, cobweb-draped doors. The interior was a snapshot of decay, tattered drapes, sagging furniture, and the faint, musty scent of mold. Dust coated every surface, undisturbed for years. Their flashlights pierced the darkness, catching glimpses of faded paintings, mounted animal heads, and unsettling statues with eyes that seemed to follow. "Creepy, but it's just an old house," Jake scoffed, though his grip on the flashlight tightened. "I don't know," Lisa muttered, shivering. "Something feels wrong." Mark nudged her. "That's the point, right? We're here to be scared." Emily rolled her eyes but smiled. "Let's split up and get some footage. Meet back in 20. Reluctantly, they scattered. Jake wandered into the study, the air heavy with the scent of old leather and dust. Shelves lined the walls, crammed with brittle books, strange trinkets, and faded photographs of somber faces. He found a ledger on the desk, its ink scrawled in a shaky hand. Bound by fear, consumed by guilt, forever trapped. He frowned, snapping a picture. A cold breeze brushed his neck. He whipped around, but the room was empty. Lisa wandered the parlor, where decaying furniture lay draped in white sheets. Her flashlight flickered, and she cursed, tapping it against her palm. When it steadied, she found herself facing a portrait. It was enormous, the subject a woman in a black gown with piercing, lifelike eyes. The brushwork was exquisite, but something about the woman's gaze felt wrong, too focused, too aware. Lisa shivered. "Creepy old painting," she muttered, turning away. "Lisa." Her name, whispered from behind. She spun around, but no one was there. The woman's eyes now stared directly at her, lips curled in a faint smirk. Lisa yelped, stumbling back. Her flashlight died, plunging her into darkness. Footsteps echoed, slow and deliberate. "Guys?" she called, her voice trembling. Silence. Emily roamed the dining hall, its long table still set as if expecting guests. Plates of rotten food and tarnished silverware gathered dust. As she filmed, her camera glitched, the image warping. Whispers seeped through her headphones, unintelligible but urgent. "Stop it, Mark!" she snapped, suspecting a prank. But then the whispers turned into moans, agonized, pleading. The shadows danced, forming the shapes of writhing figures. Emily backed away, but a cold hand clasped her shoulder. She screamed, whirling around, only to find nothing but darkness. Mark was in the hallway, examining old paintings. He snapped pictures until he noticed a detail he'd missed before. Each canvas seemed to depict a tortured soul, figures clawing at invisible walls, eyes wide with terror. In the last painting, he saw himself. His expression was twisted in a silent scream, hands pressed against a glass pane. "What the—" He backed away, only to feel cold breath against his neck. A whisper brushed his ear. "Join us." The 20 minutes passed, but no one returned. Panic set in. Jake rushed through the halls, calling their names. Echoes mocked him. He found Emily's camera on the floor, the lens cracked, footage frozen on a distorted face. He stumbled upon Lisa's flashlight, flickering weakly beside a portrait of a woman in black. Only now, Lisa's terrified face was part of the painting, eyes wide with despair. Jake screamed and ran. He burst into the grand hall and found Mark, eyes hollow, blood trickling from his ears, muttering the same phrase over and over. She's watching, she's... A cold presence filled the room. The portrait dominated the wall, the woman's smile now a cruel grin. Jake couldn't look away. The eyes swallowed him, pulling him deeper. Whispers filled his head, pleading, mocking, begging. The room spun as darkness consumed him. The next morning, the Blackwood Estate was quiet. The portraits adorned the walls, but now, 4 new faces were trapped within, wide-eyed and screaming, cursed to linger forever in the collector's gallery. The legend lived on, the house waiting for more visitors. The end?